What is going on, guys? Burning Spitfire bringing you a Yu-Gi-Oh! National top 16 deck profile. We're here with Hayden, and what are you playing?
Chainbeat.
Alright, let's get into it.
Alright, the matchups first up versus Chaos was 2-0. Round 2 was against Firefist, which was 2-1. I'll explain why it was 2-1 at the end. Round 3 was Chainburn, freaking 2-0, but thank God he bricked. Round 4 was Mermail, 2-1. I got smashed around game 1, had to make a comeback. Round 5 was against Dragon Rulers, Mythic Dragon Rulers, I was 2-0. Round 6 was against Bujin on the top table. I lost 2-0, but he opened Decree Kaiser twice in a row, and you really can't do much in Chainbeat after that happens.
That's pretty nasty.
Oh, dude, it's just terrible. He's making jokes all the time as well. And then round 7 was Geargia, pure, 2-0. It's a very long first game, but yeah, I got through that. And then final round was Infernity. And again, it was I lost 2-1. Again, I'll explain why. So, I'll get to that later. But yeah, let's get into the profile. Right, so first you run the 3-1 at Rabbit, as usual. Puts in the work, just dodges everything. Same as this one. 3 evilswarm Thunderbird. Sometimes he's not as good when you open with him and nothing to chain it to, but he puts in the work. He's really important. Now I was running 2 Ice Hand and 2 Fire Hand.
No, what made you do that?
Well, they're from the new pack. So first of all, I don't think anyone would have seen them coming. I did a bit of testing during the week with them. And I played Geargia a few days before the Nationals, and I was a Mythic Ruler guy. He literally beat me with just drawing one of these. So I did a bit of testing the day before, like, as that slack I am. And it's very good clearance. Like, I had a game against, in the Dragon Ruler matchup. His field was, he soul charged into a field of Felgrand, Stardust, 2 back row. I had one at Rabbit and Phoenix Chain set, and just drew this one. Pretty much crashed into his star. I took about 5k out of it, but I got a loop. I just keep crashing. And then when he went to activate Felgrand, I chained effect to Phoenix Chain, and yeah, pretty much attacked the game with one at Rabbit after that. So they really put it in, like top decking these, or even just setting them full back row. They think you're playing Geargia, and they just run straight into it. So.
Did you have any trouble like clogging them in your hand first turn?
Even a few games actually did. I opened 2 ice, but like against decks that run like Skill Drain Decree, like Bujin in particular, it's not bad to just pop a card and then you still get the fight. The loop's not important, but it is good. So next round, obviously Thunder King just shuts down decks. Like you open that against anything that searches, you pretty much start off ahead. Grand Mole just for field clearance. Most of the times you have trouble with this deck is they like set of redox and you actually can't get over it. It means they have any sort of back row, your XYZs just become destroyed. And the main reason I'm running this next card is my personal tech, Bull Blader.
What the hell is that?
Alright, so pretty much, it's very similar to D Warrior Lady. I'll actually read it to you, if I can.
Yeah, I don't know what that card
is.
It's
when an attack is declared involving this card and your opponent's monster, you can activate this effect, so it still activates, so obviously Stardust stops it, but during the battle involving this monster, neither player takes any battle damage. Also destroy the opponent's monster after damage calculation. So it gets through stuff like Star Reader, which I crashed into, Armades, which I didn't have a problem with. No one really summoned it. But in my round 4 against Mermail, I had D-Fisher up and we were top decking, and he got a title. And pretty much I was going to lose, and I duelled into this. And I crashed into his title, they both got banished, and pretty much he had no monsters left, and I just attacked the Thunderbird for game after that.
Was it bad at all?
Never. Like, even if I draw it and have nothing else, I just set it. Again, I think it's an armor, they run in. Like, in my matchup in the top 16, top 16, I forgot to mention, I played Bujin and got to game 3. He had a field of Direwolf to get rid of my D-Fisher. I had this set. Attacked him with your motto and died. And I could have won, but he finished my ice hand when I attacked the game. Then Solemn Warn did on effect when he destroyed it. And then, from there, I couldn't come back. And he ended up winning the whole Nationals, so I can't be disappointed with that. So that's it for the monster count.
Let's get into those spells.
Yeah. Next to the spells, obviously, the Black Garden.
So you went True Black Garden?
True Black Garden. Didn't draw it game 1 against Dragon Rulers, but thankfully that didn't matter. But game 2, it pretty much won me the game. A lot of other matchups. There's swarmy decks, they just give you field presence. You never not without a field. Next, 3 Duality for consistency. You need your pieces. You need your Black Gardens, Rabbits, Thunderbirds. 3 MST, because back row is a thing, Decree is a thing, Skill Drain's a card, so you've got to cover your weaknesses as much as possible. Next you have 2 Forbidden Lands, because sometimes a lot of the time I actually use it as when they attack in, I just destroy their monster, and therefore I chain it, but sometimes they double chain your Thunderbird or your Thunderbird, and or your Rabbit, you just have to get out of it. So it's one way to keep your monsters on board. And the one Dark Hole, obviously field clearance.
So no upstart? Didn't feel like you needed it?
Upstart, no. I've seen builds with Upstart, but I felt like with the hands in there, I got another engine, so I really didn't have to rely on it. And to be fair, I only bricked like once or twice, and was still able to make a comeback as soon as I drew a monster.
So consistency was fun?
Overall, I'd say overall, I might have got lucky, but yeah, it was fine. I had no consistency issues all day. So yeah, here's the traps. The 3 Black Horn of Heaven. MVP, one of the MVPs of the deck normally. I played this deck once before Nationals, and this card pretty much won me the tournament, and the only reason this wasn't as good is because Bujins were really, really good in the tournament. It really didn't help me that much overall, to be fair, but when I drew it, I think I cleared like 3 Draco Sacks in total just from having it, so it's always good. They're running 3. XYZ's beat this deck, so you have to have outs. 2 Phoenix Chain, 3 is too cloggy. You need back rows. It's a heavy trap lineup, so if you have too many Phoenix Chains, you get stuck on field, and you really need to set your traps. 2 D Prison. Other people run hands, Stardust, etc. I think it's just a bit better than Mirror Force in my opinion. Leotrue is the only other out, but like again, Black Horn or anything else, you can actually get rid of it. Another one is 2 Vanity's Emptiness. I expected to verse a lot of Dragon Rulers or Mermail decks. And in the Dragon Ruler game 2, once I cleared his field, I flipped this in his standby phase, and he couldn't summon at all. For like 4 turns, I just won from that instantly. One-offs, I've got Compulsory Escape Device. If I went back on it now, I'd probably run 2. And probably maybe 2 Black Horns just because of Bujin. My Bujin matchup was terrible. Like, I lost both times I versed it, I lost 2-0. I think 2-1 in the final, but yeah, 2-0.
So why did you go 1? The triple Black Horn?
I would have put Black Horn to 2 in 2 of these. It's just too good. It doesn't target or anything. It just clears the field. Just instant motto. Out of Leotrue if you have to deal with that. So yeah. Next is another new card, the Wiretap. I have to be honest, this is my favourite card right now. Like Solemn Warning, Wiretap. They take 2,000. Even though they get the warning back in their deck, what's the chance they're going to draw it at another critical state? So it just helps. Like Mirror Force, anything. You obviously this deck dodges, but just having that extra way to stop them from using traps is great. Another one, Macrocosmos, the one-off. Helped in the Bujin match, I guess, but it was better against like Chaos. I opened this round 1, and even game 2 I got it. You just win from there. Even in the Mermail matchup, I got this at one point. It just forced his hand.
Did you ever start it out? Was it useful all the time?
I started it out like against Chainburn. Obviously, you started all that crap out. Bujin's in the final. I actually did side it out because I felt like he was going to hit Decree. I put D Fisher in instead of this, and I drew D Fisher almost instantly. So thank God I did because he actually had Decree.
Wow.
And then obviously the stables: Bottomless, Trap Hole, Compulse, Torrential, and Warning. And that rounds it up.
So what's the how many you want? Like 40?
41 that one. The Bull Blader was a last minute tech, so I really didn't want to take anything else
So
out
you
of the
started throwing a Bull Blade and make it 41.
He earned his spot. He did it right.
Alright, good stuff. Let's get into the extra deck.
Extra deck's not as relevant because you don't get into it much, but there's a few things. And this is where my point about the games against Fire Fist and Infernity will come in. But yeah, so Silent Monarch, evilswarm Exodon Knight, Abyss Dweller. It's all very relevant. Like, you need to run them. Like, if you have any way to get to 4s, you have to run those. I ran 4 Toon as a rank 3. Zen mains. I didn't even go to 4 Toon once. I ran Zen mains, got into it against Mermail, just made them their life a bit harder. Soul Silver Mountain, like, it never came off, but if I get to attack into a wing monster, I get my rabbit back that I XYZ'd with it, so you end up in the plus regardless afterwards. Grocery Alucard, great against Geargia. I got into it once in the Geargia matchup. I really didn't need to, but I just thought I'd make sure of it. Another 3, Acid Golem. Again, with that situation, if they just set a really hard defense card, it's very hard to win if you can't get rid of it. And yes, you run traps, but defense monsters under Black Guard, and they still get out of it. So it's the 3s. And the other 4, I guess the Emerald. It worked well with the hands. I never got it off because they got Black Horn every time I tried to summon it. But it works with the hands to try and rotate them back if you have one in hand and just want to get another loop going. And also if you need your rabbits back or anything else. Maze Stroke, always good. I probably would have taken it out for something I'll mention at the end. Diamond Dire, you've got to get rid of Decree. Harlan Draco, I tried to win, I attacked for Game Over twice, and I got Black Horn twice. I was just devastated every time, because it's a really good card. It's the first time I ever used it, and I never got to use it legitimately without it dying. Papillobrid is good against technically Chainburn if they summon a Fader. You just put in attack mode and attack over it, get some damage off. Or again, the defense position monster problem is another way out. I run Crazy Box for the skill drain matchups. Never actually happened, but still, like, you still need that option. 3,000 under skill drain is not easy to get out of. And Evilswarm Ophion, you run Thunderbirds. If you get into this against anything that level 5 or high, you automatically almost win. And something you'll notice, this is my end of it, there's no Geargia Cowboy in there. And in Game 2 and Game 1 against Infernity, I got him down to 250 life points with 2 level 4s on board, and he assumed I had the win. And I didn't have the Cowboy, so I couldn't admit it. And then he won that game. Then he bricked Game 2, and I won Game 2. So in final round, I could have finished higher from that, but that's just my bad. That's what you get for doing decks at 4 AM in the morning.
No Cowboy. It's too good.
I was like, I won't need Cowboy. Nope, very critical.
Let's check out that side.
Side deck. Apologise for the side deck. It's not what I want it to be. Again, didn't expect Bujin, but yeah, it happens. So Veilers for the Infernity matchup and Firefist, I guess, if you find it. Which I actually versed, so that was good. Fossil Diner, Infernitys, Mermails, Dragons, always good. Under Black Garden, you just set this, they attack in. They're not going to be much higher than 2,600. If they are, they obviously special summon, so that dies. Banisher for basically Mermail matchup. I always put it in against Bujin because I run Decree, so I take a lot of my traps out, so I just try and get that extra banishing off. On the one spell, it's Dimensional Fisher, so obviously Mermail, etc. Soul Drain, the same. Run double Mind Crush. I only use it against Bujin and Geargia. And it came in my round 6 matchup with Bujin. I Mind Crushed a Crane and an Honest, and out of nowhere he activates Pot of Dictonomy and adds them all back into his deck and draws 2 cards. I couldn't respond. I couldn't believe that just happened to me. Run the 2 Needle Sealing. Really good against Swarmy decks. Infernity in the standby phase actually pulled it off. Knocked him over. Dragon Rulers. You just wipe their field. You just wait till they get to 4. Have a Ice Hand, Fire Hand face down, or even just your dodges. Get away from it. Clear field. It's just a good way to get up. I actually sided one of these in the Bujin matchup in the finals. And it came off in Game 2. I actually won straight off it. He went big with Yamato and something else, trying to off Bujin Carnation. And I already had half a field, so I just banished my Thunderbird in response and cleared his field up and ended up winning from there. I regret this one, the Shadow Mirrors. I never used them once. I wish they were Light Mirrors. I was fearing Evil Swarm too much because it's a pretty bad matchup for this deck because they also have Thunderbirds. But Light Mirrors would have been way better. In the last minute, I took Max C out for these because I noticed there's a lot of... We had like a pre-match before the Nationals. There's a lot of Chain Burn going around. And at the end of the day, I versed Chain Burn in round 3. And I don't think I would have used Max C as well as I could have. Obviously, it's a great card, Max C, but I'm running a lot of banishing cards. It makes it a bit risky. So yeah, that's my deck profile for the Nationals. Everyone was very surprised that Chain Beat were in there. I got a lot of people laughing and very surprised, but yeah, overall it was a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time if I can do this again.
Well, before we end it, was there anything you would change? Like,
as I mentioned
any problems? Like in the main deck?
As I mentioned, I'd probably put a second Compulsory Escape in. It's very good against Bujin, and they're clearly still a good deck right now. My side deck would definitely change. I'd have Light Mirrors and other stuff like that. I don't know. Someone behind the screen saying that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very happy. I actually went in playing Champion. I already qualified for Ocean, so I was just going there to have some fun. Won my mat. I'm happy. I got my box. So overall, a pretty successful weekend.
That is a good looking mat.
It is good. That your motto.
So hope you guys enjoyed, and bring hopefully more future dev profiles in the future.
Hopefully.
So, later.